Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're having a great day and that you are all doing well. Over the last couple of weeks, I've become interested with the idea of digital scarcity, and this article kind of ties into my idea that there may be a lot less crypto floating around than we actually think. The recent sudden death of crypto billionaire Matthew Malan has raised questions about what happens to our crypto assets when we die. Most of these assets are locked away in mobile apps, online exchanges, and wallets, and the occasional hardware wallet. Our wallet passwords, passcodes, mnemonic phrases, and digital keys are only known to ourselves. Perhaps we can live with the thought of only around $2,000 being lost when we die. What if this amount was approximately $500 million? Well, this amount in XRP was the estimated value of the XRP held by Matthew Malan before his death back in mid-April. Mr. Malan had initially invested $2 million in XRP when everyone was still skeptical about the industry. He was an early believer, and he had this to say about crypto. He said, "Crypto is scary and dark. It's anti-American. I'm pro-American, pro-business, and pro-bank. That's why I went with Ripple." His XRP would later be worth $1 billion when XRP peaked earlier this year. Mr. Malan would later comment the following about the XRP that he held. He said, more or less, he said it was pretty much free, that no one in his family believed in him. His family thought he was insane. Interesting to see that now, since he is gone, now they want his money. The XRP is now estimated to be worth $500 million, with other estimates saying it's around $250 million at this time. It is said that Mr. Malan had kept the digital keys to his XRP locked in cold storage across different locations in the US and in other people's names. His idea of distributing access to his fortune across the US was an ingenious one, but speculation is high if he had redundancy measures that included a procedure of recovering the assets when he passed on. Until there are further developments, it can be assumed that all of his XRP is currently inaccessible indefinitely. I'm going to assume that over the next couple of years, we're also going to hear a lot more news like this. The fact that he may potentially have, or that there is potentially 500 million XRP, if not more at this point, that are completely lost forever in essence, kind of leads me to the, like I said, the whole digital scarcity thing, and the fact that tons of people are constantly, it's not funny, are constantly throwing out their computers, losing their passwords to a lot of things. I've been reading online a lot. You know, there's certain online wallets, certain other things that people for some reason create really crazy passwords for, or they have certain desktop wallets where they have like a 16-word recovery phrase, and people don't write these down, and then they can't get back into their wallets, and then people are complaining online. I have $7,000, $8,000, $10,000, $15,000 of these coins on this wallet, and I cannot get them back, and they probably will never be able to get these back again. This is why you're told to write down your recovery phrases and know your keys and all this other stuff. It's going to be, I wish there was a way to be able to calculate all of this, because as of now, the way they calculate most of this, you know, except for in this case where he, you know, told his family how much that he had, but they can't get it back, is that they kind of checked wallets and they see, you know, there's no movement in this wallet for the last 2 or 3 years, so they assume that the wallet's completely dead and or lost and or stolen and or corrupted, or people cannot get the information that's on it back. I don't think there's probably going to be any way that we'd be able to figure this out, how many people in general, but like I'm fairly certain we're going to get to a point where we come to realize that the crypto that we think is rolling around is completely lost forever, and we're never going to be able to get it back. Next up, the SEC is in the news once again. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission are holding the SEC Investor Conference in Atlanta this year on June 13th at Georgia State University. There will be a town hall event followed by a breakout events wherein attendants can meet with members of the SEC for a more informal discussion on issues regarding regulation in the world of fintech, mutual funds, fraud prevention, and cryptocurrency. Page on the official SEC website advertises the event as follows. They say, "Meet the people who will help make Wall Street work for Main Street. All 5 SEC commissioners are coming to Atlanta to meet with you, young people, the military, urban, and rural." My gosh, they could have made that so much better. Those saving for retirement and seniors, the diverse, the dynamic people of the Southeast region. They did not care when they were writing that. All 5 SEC commissioners will be in attendance, including Chairman Jay Clayton, who had a speech earlier this year about cryptocurrencies and ICOs at Princeton University on April 5th. When asked if he thought ICOs were inherently fraudulent, Clayton said absolutely not, stating that that his hope was that the regulation industry introduced by the SEC would have a proven impact on the cryptocurrency space by stamping out bad actors and allowing legitimate projects to thrive. Many members of the cryptocurrency community have been concerned recently that the SEC is gearing up to classify cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum as securities, meaning that the tokens represented an underlying asset as opposed to being utility tokens. The security classification would have disastrous effects on the market, with strict regulations on taxes and even who can or legally cannot own and invest in crypto, which is not going to dive into that at all. That's just going to get me kind of upset. So apparently this is going to happen. It seems like they're trying to make an effort, but to me, at least, it feels like the SEC is... I think that they know more about the space than people who are actually developing the currencies. And this is why I'm so pro regulation in the way that other countries are doing it, where they're allowing the people who created cryptocurrencies to create regulations around cryptocurrencies themselves. You know, the people who created it should, or the people who are in it should have the final say. Still no word at all on if or when they will start to classify certain coins as what. But I'm all certain at this point that when they do finally give some type of judgment on what these coins are, a large amount of the market will collapse. Like I said, I still think it's going to happen backwards to forwards. Let's see exactly what's going to happen. They still have not given any information, but I think it's all being done on purpose. I would rather them just say what they want to say right now, let the market collapse, and let us get back to normal at least by the fall. So, EOS is in the news today. Chinese internet security firm Qihoo, Qihoo 360, discovered a series of serious vulnerabilities in the EOS blockchain. Reportedly, these vulnerabilities can take over all the nodes running on the platform. After bringing this to the notice of the EOS development team, the issue was fixed within a few hours. The report states that these vulnerabilities can allow attackers to execute arbitrary code on the EOS node. They reached out to the EOS team to inform them of this issue, to which a representative stated that the mainnet launch will not occur until these issues are fixed. They then proceeded to fix the errors within a few hours of the report. So this happened sometime earlier today, depending on when you're watching this. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the head guys, Dan Larimer, behind the EOS project, actually is offering a bug bounty, if you will, for people who can find anything that can cause a crash, a privilege escalation, or non-deterministic behavior in smart contracts. He's offering $10,000 for this. At the moment, EOS has literally 48 hours or something like that before it ends up launching, or before the ICO is over. So we have 4 or 5 days until the actual chain launches. So I'm sure they're going to be working as hard as possible in order to get all this in order, so that they make sure that they have a successful mainnet launch. Last up, I thought this was kind of interesting, just to be able to, you'll see exactly what it is to be able to do this is kind of interesting. On May 28th, the Central Bank of England was told that Bitcoin is headed towards being the ultimate financial system for the future by popular Britain historian and political author Neil Ferguson. Ferguson is one of history's most wanted commentators and the author of the House of Rothschild, who we also just spoke about. On Tuesday, he attended a seminar addressing the Bank of England that the subject of Bitcoin is ahead of the major challenges faced since the 2008 financial crisis, following its current fiat-based system. He believes that the financial system of today is not much different from the financial system of the pre-crisis period, other than that the aspect of better capitalization of big banks. The crypto revolution is yet to overtake the financial markets, with context to time and electricity-backed experiments of these alternative forms of money exchange. Ferguson was quoted as saying, "The novelties, the things that really matter 10 years hence are still relatively small in scale. Whether it's Bitcoin or cryptocurrency generally, or the massive revolution in online payments, that is being achieved by the big Chinese tech companies. That's the financial system of the future, and it is still small enough not to be systematically important in 2018. Like I said, to be able to stand in front of the Central Bank of England and say something like that, to kind of tell them to their face that they won't really be around for much longer. There's still tons of people who are commenting and are talking in front of not only Congress and Parliament around the world, that they still believe that in 10 years' time, that cryptocurrencies will have completely absorbed the old fiat system and banks, and the only way for banks to pretty much survive is to kind of get with it, if you want to say it that way. All right, everyone, that's definitely going to do it for this video. Not too much news. Kind of calm down a bit. It's kind of nice not to be news packed, at least for one video. Get ready for the next one. Just joking. Hope you guys have a great day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Thank you once again for watching. This photo is really intense. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you all soon. See you.